Module Overview. This module explores the experimental frontiers of painting media, focusing on the radial expansion of traditional materials like oil, acrylic, and watercolor into new conceptual territories, hybrid techniques, and interdisciplinary art practices. As contemporary artists break conventional boundaries, the use of non-traditional supports, industrial materials, multimedia integration, and unconventional application methods has transformed the role of the medium in artistic discourse. We examine how oil, acrylic, and watercolor have evolved not only in formulation, but also in philosophical and symbolic value. Artists today challenge medium purity, using painting media in conjunction with installation, performance, technology, and ephemeral art. This module interrogates how materials themselves can be acts of protest, identity, or transformation in contemporary societies. Section 1. The deconstruction of traditional media. The term painting no longer refers solely to brush-on-canvas techniques. Artists deconstruct painting by using oil on unprimed surfaces, layering acrylic with collage, resin, sand, plastic, combining watercolor with inkjet transfers and photo documentation. Medium fluidity becomes a metaphor for postmodern pluralism and cultural hybridity. Key concepts: medium as message, material politics, conceptual hybridity, intermedia painting. Section 2. Innovative uses of oil, acrylic, and watercolor. Oil paint. Innovations: used in 3D relief work by mixing with wax or heavy gel, embedded with organic material hair, flowers, dirt for textural critique. Applied via knives, syringes, even body parts for performative effect. Acrylic paint innovations, combined with industrial substances, latex, resin, LED pigments, used in murals, street art, and graffiti due to fast drying. Mixed with UV reactive compounds, holographic powders, phosphorescent pigments, employed in pour painting, fluid art, digital masking techniques. Watercolor innovations, blended with digital projection, creating reactive surface works. Integrated into animation cells, augmented reality, virtual sketchbooks, dipped or sprayed on glass, metal, plastic instead of paper, used in climate reactive or rain-activated artworks. Section 3. Experimental techniques and their impact. Technique, description, and example will be used in our table as shown. 1. Pour painting fluid acrylics poured on canvas and manipulated with heat or tilt, Holton Rower 2. Impasto resin fusion oil mixed with cold wax or resin for sculptural surfaces. Anselm Kiefer reverse painting on plexiglass. Watercolor applied in reverse on clear plastic installation work. 3. Inkjet transfer on acrylic digital image, fused with acrylic layer using solvent emulsification, hybrid prints. 4. Burning and charring oil, symbolic destruction or aging using heat on dried oil surface, conceptual art. Section 4. Medium as performance, activism, and identity. Art is increasingly seen as a process, not just a product. Artists use painting media in performative rituals, with the creation process being part of the exhibition. Feminist and post-colonial artists reimagine watercolor's softness as power. Acrylic murals are used in protest movements as rapidly deployable visual messaging. Oil is re-evaluated through a post-extractive lens, critique of fossil-based production and imperial history. Section 5. Global and indigenous adaptations. In Africa, Asia, and Latin America, artists blend local dyes, natural pigments, and handmade binders with commercial materials. Example: Nigerian artist uses cassava starch with acrylic for symbolic language. Eco-painting arises: biodegradable binders, non-toxic colors, recycled substrates. Urban artists reclaim street spaces with watercolor chalk and acrylic misting. Section 6. Case studies of experimental practitioners. Anselm Kiefer, oil, ash, straw, and molten lead used for historical trauma. Julie Meretu, acrylic layered with mapping software, architectural projections. Wangechi Mutu, watercolor with collage and soil on mylar, feminist ecology. Shirin Neshat uses ink and pigment with photography to explore identity. Ella Natsui, while not a painter per se, he inspired painters to see materiality as narrative. Section 7. Studio application, creating hybrid works. Exercises: combine oil paint with recycled paper textures. Design an acrylic installation with UV reactive components. Create a watercolor work that changes with humidity or light. Develop a painting using body gestures or music as a rhythm map. Module outcomes. By the end of this module, you will identify and describe at least 5 innovative painting techniques using oil, acrylic, or watercolor. Understand the philosophical and political implications of medium experimentation. Demonstrate creative and critical application of hybrid media in studio projects. Analyze how contemporary artists use materials to challenge traditional categories. Reflect on how material choices align with personal voice, activism, and cultural critique.